Welcome to my channel USA Old Coins. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end, you won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1965 stands as one of the most intriguing coins in modern American numismatic history. This particular year marked a huge turning point for the U.S. Mint, as it shifted away from producing silver quarters and began striking them with a copper-nickel-clad composition. That change wasn't just a matter of metal, it was a moment that forever altered the look, feel, and future of American coinage. When people think of the Washington quarter, they imagine the enduring portrait of George Washington on the obverse. Designed by John Flanagan in 1932 to honor the first president's 200th birthday, the image had already been a fixture on the quarter for over 3 decades by the time 1965 came along. But in this year, the familiar design masked an important secret: the coin you were holding was no longer silver. Up until 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But rising silver prices created a serious problem for the mint. People began hoarding coins for their melt value, leading to a shortage in circulation. In response, the government approved the switch to the copper-nickel-clad composition still used today. That's why 1965 quarters are special. They were the first non-silver Washington quarters ever made. The change didn't go smoothly for everyone. Many Americans were skeptical of the new coins, noting that they didn't have the same brilliant shine or pleasant ring as the silver ones. The difference in appearance and sound made it easy for sharp-eyed collectors to spot the transition year pieces, and soon, 1965 quarters became a curiosity in the coin world. In the obverse, Washington's bust remains crisp and strong, with liberty above and "In God We Trust" to the left. Below the portrait is the year 1965, marking the start of a new era. This date, for collectors, is almost symbolic, a reminder of the exact point where U.S. coinage stepped away from precious metal. The reverse design is equally classic. It shows a proud bald eagle with wings outstretched, clutching a bundle of arrows, and framed by olive branches. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and quarter dollar are neatly arranged to balance the design's symmetry and regular circulation. The 1965 quarter is extremely common. Billions were made to replace silver coins and fill the gap caused by hoarding. However, the real treasures of 1965 come from rare errors, unique conditions, and unusual production circumstances that make certain examples incredibly valuable. One of the most famous rarities is the 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet. These are leftover silver blanks from 1964 that somehow got fed into the presses during 1965. Because the mint had officially stopped making silver quarters, these accidental strikes are numismatic goldmines. Another factor that drives value is condition. A 1965 quarter in circulated condition might just be pocket change, but one that has survived in pristine, mint state quality, without scratches, nicks, or dulling, can bring impressive sums at auction. Collectors search for coins graded MS-67 or higher, as these are exceptionally rare for such an early-clad quarter. The difficulty lies in the fact that most coins from this year entered circulation almost immediately, enduring years of handling and wear. Some 1965 quarters also show striking errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. Each of these mistakes tells a story about the coin's journey through the minting process, and each adds to its rarity and desirability. Because the 1965 quarter marked a major shift in U.S. coinage, it has a special place in the hearts of collectors. Even though the majority are common, the hunt for a rare variety or perfect specimen has kept the year exciting for decades. The historical backdrop of this coin is also fascinating. The mid-1960s were a time of great change in America, socially, politically, and economically. The removal of silver from coins was part of a broader shift toward modern production and a response to economic pressures. Also worth noting that the mint intentionally left off mint marks on all coins from 1965 to 1967. This was an unusual move meant to discourage collecting and hoarding during the transition period. For numismatists, that quirk makes the 1965 quarter even more unique. In hand, a high-grade 1965 quarter can be stunning. The copper core shows faintly along the edge, the surfaces shine with a silvery hue from the nickel outer layers, and the details of Washington's portrait and the eagle's feathers stand out sharply. As with any collectible coin, proper storage is essential. Serious collectors keep their best examples in protective holders to preserve their luster and prevent environmental damage. For casual finders, spotting a 1965 quarter in pocket change may not seem like a big deal. But if that coin happens to be a rare error or in uncirculated condition, it could be worth a small fortune. The thrill of finding such a treasure keeps people searching through old jars of change, inherited coin collections, and even everyday transactions. Over time, as more collectors set aside the finest 1965 quarters, the number of available high-grade examples continues to shrink. This scarcity pushes prices higher, making today's acquisitions potentially valuable investments for the future. The 1965 Washington quarter is more than just currency, it's a piece of history. It tells the story of America's transition from silver to clad coinage, the public's reaction, and the mint's efforts to keep coins circulating in a changing economy. A year that blends tradition and transformation, all captured in a small, round, and remarkably detailed piece of metal. For new collectors, the 1965 quarter is a great starting point. For seasoned numismatists, it's a year full of challenge and opportunity. This coin embodies the unexpected, the idea that even in a year of mass production, rarity and value can emerge from small mistakes, perfect preservation, or unusual circumstances, and in the rarest and most pristine conditions, with all its history and beauty intact, the value of a 1965 Washington quarter can reach as high as $145,000. Top 2. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1973 is a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but for collectors and numismatists, it hides a world of fascinating details, minting history, and the potential for extraordinary value. It belongs to a long-running series that began in 1932, celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, and it carries the iconic portrait of America's first president on its obverse. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, BY 1973, the Washington quarter had already been in production for over 4 decades, and the design was well established in American currency. Yet each year still brought its own unique mintage, variations, and rare errors, making certain examples incredibly sought after. The coin's composition was no longer silver, having transitioned in 1965 to the copper-nickel clad style that remains in use today, but the absence of precious metal didn't mean the coin lacked value. In fact, some rare 1973 quarters have reached astonishing prices in the numismatic market. The obverse of the coin displays George Washington's bust, facing left, with the inscriptions Liberty above and In God We Trust to the left. The year 1973 appears below the portrait. Despite being a common year for circulation strikes, the sharpness of Washington's image can vary greatly depending on the coin's condition, and collectors always search for the most perfectly struck examples. The reverse features a proud bald eagle with wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing America's readiness to defend itself, while olive branches beneath signify peace. Above the eagle are the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, while the denomination quarter dollar is placed below, minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1973 quarters came in different finishes. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced circulation strikes, with the Philadelphia coins carrying no mint mark and the Denver coins bearing a small D on the obverse. The San Francisco mint produced proof coins, identifiable by their mirror-like surfaces and often bearing a deep cameo contrast point. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1973 quarter is the hunt for rare errors. Some of the most valuable examples are coins that were struck on the wrong planchet, such as leftover blanks from other denominations. A quarter struck on a nickel or half-dollar planchet, for example, would be worth a significant premium due to its rarity and uniqueness. Double die obverse and reverse varieties also exist for 1973 quarters, where the design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. These coins often show doubling in the lettering or date, and sharp-eyed collectors know how to spot these valuable traits. Another factor that drives value is condition. While most 1973 quarters in circulation are worn and worth face value, those that have survived in pristine condition, graded at MS67 or higher by professional grading services, can fetch extraordinary sums. High-grade examples are rare because coins struck for everyday use often suffered from heavy handling and contact marks almost immediately. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint also hold special appeal. In perfect PR70 deep cameo condition, these coins are extremely scarce and can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand. The economic backdrop of 1973 adds another layer of interest to this coin. America was experiencing significant changes, with inflation, shifts in currency policies, and ongoing adjustments to the coinage system. The quarter remained a workhorse of commerce, making high-grade survivors even rarer due to the heavy wear they endured in daily transactions. Collectors today often search through rolls of quarters, inherited change jars, and estate collections, hoping to find that one 1973 specimen with perfect luster, sharp strike, and minimal marks. The excitement comes from knowing that, even in a sea of common coins, a rare gem could be hiding in plain sight. The hunt for 1973 quarters is not just about monetary value, it's also about preserving a tangible piece of American history. Each coin passed through countless hands, saw decades of use, and yet still carries the artistry and symbolism of its design. Even common examples hold a certain nostalgic charm. They evoke memories of a time when payphones, vending machines, and parking meters still took quarters without hesitation, and when cash transactions dominated over electronic payments. For advanced collectors, assembling a complete set of Washington quarters by year and mint mark often includes tracking down the finest 1973 examples. These high-grade coins can complete a collection with pride and prestige. The allure also lies in the fact that rarity isn't always obvious. A simple 1973 quarter you pull from circulation might be an overlooked variety worth far more than face value. That possibility keeps the thrill alive for treasure hunters everywhere. Some rare 1973-era quarters have been known to sell for thousands of dollars even in circulated condition, proving that a sharp eye and a little knowledge can turn pocket change into a windfall. For those storing high-value coins, protection is key. Keeping a rare 1973 quarter in a holder or slab preserves its condition, maintains its luster, and ensures it remains a valuable asset for years to come. Ultimately, the 1973 Washington quarter is more than a piece of metal. It's a chapter in the ongoing story of American coinage. It represents tradition, craftsmanship, and the unpredictability of rarity in a modern series. Collectors and enthusiasts alike are drawn to it not just for its beauty, but for the stories it carries and the surprises it may hold. Every coin tells a story, and the 1973 quarter is no different. It's a bridge between the past and present, a piece of everyday life that can transform into a prizeworthy treasure, and in the rarest and most exceptional condition, with perfect preservation and unmatched quality. The value of a 1973 Washington quarter can reach as high as $127,000. Top 3. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1986 may appear like just another everyday coin, but for coin collectors and treasure hunters, it holds stories of history, design, and potential hidden value that can turn an ordinary find into a life-changing discovery. This coin is part of a long-running and iconic series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, and by 1986, it had already secured its place as one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. On its obverse side, the 1986 Washington quarter features the classic bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. His dignified portrait faces left, framed by the word Liberty above his head and In God We Trust to his left. The date 1986 is neatly placed below the image, a reminder of the era when this coin was minted. Despite decades of production, each year and mint run still carried unique traits that collectors chase with enthusiasm. The reverse of the coin showcases the iconic bald eagle with wings spread wide, symbolizing strength and freedom. The eagle clutches a bundle of arrows, representing America's readiness to defend itself, while olive branches rest beneath, symbolizing the country's commitment to peace. The inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum sit proudly above, while quarter dollar anchors the design at the bottom. In 1986, quarters were struck primarily from a copper-nickel-clad composition, a change that had taken place in 1965 after the United States discontinued the use of silver in circulating quarters. While this means the 1986 quarter does not contain precious metal, its value for collectors comes from condition, rarity, and unique minting errors. 3 primary mints produced these coins: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia quarters have no mint mark, Denver coins carry a small d on the obverse, and San Francisco proof coins feature a sharp S mint mark. Proof coins, in particular, were struck with special care, giving them mirror-like surfaces that shine with deep cameo contrasts, making them especially desirable in pristine condition. One of the most exciting aspects for collectors is the possibility of rare minting errors. The 1986 quarter has known examples of double die strikes, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled due to a misalignment during die production. Coins struck off-center or on the wrong planchet, such as leftover blanks intended for other denominations, are also highly valuable and sought after. Another reason certain 1986 quarters stand out is their grade. Most quarters in circulation show heavy wear from daily use, but a small number survived with exceptional detail and original mint luster. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC assign these coins grades from MS60 to MS70, with higher grades dramatically increasing their market value. A 1986 quarter graded MS67 or above is incredibly rare. Even more impressive are perfect proof coins graded PR70 Deep Cameo, where every detail is razor sharp and the surfaces remain flawless under magnification. The year 1986 also marked an interesting time in American history. It was the midpoint of the 1980s, an era defined by technological advances, cultural shifts, and a growing interest in collectible coins. The U.S. Mint was producing both circulating coins and special commemorative issues, which drew attention to coin collecting as a serious hobby for many Americans. For coin hunters today, finding a rare 1986 quarter and change is a thrilling possibility. While most are worth face value, certain high-grade or error coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The search often begins with sorting through rolls of quarters from banks, inherited jars of loose change, or even flea market finds. Collectors also value the 1986 quarter for its classic design continuity. While the Washington quarter's reverse design would change in 1999 with the launch of the state quarters program, the 1986 version represents one of the final decades of the original eagle reverse design, making it historically significant. In proof sets from the San Francisco Mint, the 1986 quarter shines brilliantly alongside other denominations, preserved in mint-issued packaging. These sets were intended for collectors and were never released into general circulation, which explains their superior condition. When evaluating a 1986 quarter, factors like strike sharpness, surface quality, luster, and originality all play a role in determining value. Coins with even the smallest scratches or dulling can see their value drop dramatically compared to flawless examples. For those passionate about coin collecting, the 1986 Washington quarter offers a blend of accessibility and rarity. It's a coin that is easy to find in circulated form but challenging to secure in top condition or with rare minting errors. Some of the most valuable 1986 quarters ever sold have been the result of careful examination by knowledgeable collectors. A coin that looked ordinary at first glance was discovered to be an off-metal strike or a superb gem uncirculated example, leading to high auction prices. The emotional draw of this coin lies in its ability to surprise. It reminds us that even modern-era coins can hold tremendous value, and that the joy of collecting is often in the hunt itself. Preserving a high-grade 1986 quarter means avoiding any cleaning or polishing, which can harm its surfaces. Instead, coins should be stored in protective holders or slabs that shield them from damage while allowing them to be admired over time. Demand for pristine and rare examples will only increase, as more collectors aim to complete high-quality sets of Washington quarters. And as supply of untouched coins shrinks, their market value will naturally rise. Ultimately, the 1986 Washington quarter is more than pocket change. It's a piece of American heritage that bridges the past and the present, a symbol of enduring design, and in rare cases, a key to remarkable financial reward. IT teaches us that treasures don't always glitter with gold or silver. They can shine in copper nickel as well, provided they carry rarity, history, and desirability. Even for those who never find a jackpot coin, the journey of searching, learning, and collecting offers its own rich rewards, making each discovery a personal victory. And in the most extraordinary cases, those rare, flawless, and highly sought-after examples, the 1986 Washington quarter can be worth as much as $95,000. Top 4. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1995 may seem like just another coin that passes through millions of hands every day, but for collectors and coin enthusiasts, this year carries its own stories, details, and possibilities for extraordinary value. As part of the iconic Washington quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the 1995 issue represents a piece of American history minted in an era when both tradition and modern minting technology were coming together. Its obverse side, the coin proudly displays the timeless profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. His portrait face is left with a bold yet calm expression, surrounded above by the word liberty and to the left by the motto, "In God We Trust." Beneath his bust sits the year 1995, marking the exact moment in time when this quarter was struck and entered the American economy. The reverse side carries the classic eagle design that had been used for decades before the U.S. Mint switched to the state quarters program in 1999. The eagle, with its wings spread wide, clutches arrows symbolizing strength and readiness for defense, while olive branches rest below to represent the pursuit of peace. This balance between power and diplomacy has been an enduring part of the quarter's symbolism. In 1995, the U.S. Mint produced these coins in copper-nickel-clad composition for circulation, but also struck special collector versions. Philadelphia quarters carry no mint mark, Denver quarters display a small D, and San Francisco proof coins bear a sharp S mark. Each mint location contributes its own subtle characteristics in strike quality and finish. The proof coins from San Francisco stand out the most, struck multiple times with polished dies to achieve brilliant, mirror-like fields and frosted details. When these proofs are preserved in perfect condition, they can be among the most visually striking coins from the 1990s. Beyond standard issues, the 1995 Washington quarter is intriguing because of the potential for rare minting errors. Errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, and wrong planchet strikes can transform a coin's value from pocket change to a significant collectible. These errors occur rarely, making them prized finds for sharp-eyed collectors. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of any 1995 quarter. Circulated coins, which show wear from everyday use, hold little premium value. However, coins that have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition can command much higher prices. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC assess these coins on a scale up to 70, with top-grade specimens fetching the strongest prices. Mint state coins graded MS67 or above are especially rare for this year. The reason is simple: most 1995 quarters were used heavily in commerce, and few were set aside immediately after minting in flawless condition. This scarcity in top condition means that when such a coin surfaces, it becomes a highlight at coin auctions, drawing the attention of serious collectors and investors. Even without precious metal content, its rarity and demand make it valuable. The year 1995 was also significant in the coin collecting world because it was during the build-up to the U.S. Mint's major shift in 1999. Collectors looking back often seek coins from the few years before the State Quarters series began, seeing them as the final chapters of the classic eagle reverse. For those searching through change today, the chances of finding a rare 1995 quarter in circulation are slim, but not impossible. Stories of people discovering valuable error coins in rolls of bank quarters continue to inspire new collectors to start hunting. Some of the most valuable 1995 quarters have been examples struck on planchets meant for other denominations, such as nickels or dimes. These off-metal errors are visually striking and instantly recognizable once spotted. The thrill of finding one of these coins is that they can hide in plain sight. A small difference in size, weight, or color might be all it takes to reveal an error coin worth far more than 25 cents. Collectors also prize the 1995 proof sets, which included a proof quarter struck with exceptional care. In perfect PR70 deep cameo condition, these proof coins can become valuable centerpieces in a collection point. One of the most rewarding aspects of collecting the 1995 Washington quarter is that it's accessible to beginners while still offering the potential for rare treasures. Anyone can start by checking spare change, yet the top-tier coins are worthy of museum displays. The design itself is a reminder of stability and tradition. For over 6 decades, the Washington quarter had maintained its classic appearance, making it one of the longest-running and most recognizable coin designs in U.S. history. By 1995, minting technology had advanced enough to produce sharper details and more consistent strikes, yet even with modern techniques, perfection remained elusive, which is why high-grade coins are so rare. When stored correctly in protective holders, a high-grade 1995 quarter can retain its beauty and value for generations. Avoiding scratches, fingerprints, or cleaning is essential for preservation. Over the years, collector demand for 1995 quarters in pristine condition has grown steadily, partly because of their place in the timeline just before the major design overhaul in 1999. Auction results show that when rare errors or superb gem examples appear, bidding can quickly escalate. This is especially true when the coin is certified by a top grading company and accompanied by a detailed description of its rarity. Many collectors see these coins not just as financial assets but as pieces of art and history, each one telling a story about the era in which it was minted. Holding a perfect 1995 quarter is like holding a frozen moment from the mid-1990s, an era of transition, both in coinage and in the broader cultural landscape of America. For younger collectors, these coins are an opportunity to connect with a time before the state quarters program, while for older collectors, they represent a continuation of a design they grew up with. Whether you're drawn to the 1995 Washington quarter for its beauty, its historical context, or its investment potential, there's no denying the excitement it brings to the hobby. It serves as a reminder that extraordinary treasures can hide in ordinary places, waiting for the right person to recognize them. And in the rarest and most perfect cases, the value of a 1995 Washington quarter can reach as high as $75,000. Top 5. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1997 is one of those coins that may seem entirely ordinary at first glance, yet beneath its small, silver-toned surface lies a story that fascinates collectors and coin enthusiasts alike. Issued just 2 years before the iconic state quarters program began in 1999, the 1997 Washington quarter stands as one of the final pieces in the long-running traditional eagle reverse design that had been a mainstay since 1932. In the obverse, you see the enduring profile of George Washington. Created by sculptor John Flanagan, his dignified gaze set firmly toward the left. Above his head, the bold word Liberty stretches across the top, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," rests to the side. Beneath the portrait is the year 1997, marking its place in modern coinage history. The reverse proudly displays the majestic eagle, wings spread wide in a commanding stance, perched upon a bundle of arrows symbolizing strength, while an olive branch below it represents peace. This classic design has a timeless appeal, one that collectors cherish for its balance of symbolism and artistry. The 1997 quarter was struck at multiple mint facilities: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S4 proof issues. Each minting location adds its own layer of intrigue for collectors, with variations in strike quality, luster, and finish. While the majority of 1997 quarters were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition for circulation, the San Francisco Mint also produced proof versions, including both standard clad proofs and highly sought-after 90% silver proofs, made specifically for collectors. What elevates certain 1997 quarters from pocket change to prized collectibles is the combination of rarity, condition, and in some cases, striking errors. Minting errors, while rare, make these coins incredibly desirable. Double die obverse, broad strikes, and off-center strikes are just a few examples that can dramatically increase value. Another major factor that drives up the worth of a 1997 quarter is its grade. Coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, known as mint state examples, can command impressive premiums. The highest graded examples, especially those in MS-67 or MS-68, are exceptionally rare. The rarity of such high-grade coins is due to the fact that most 1997 quarters entered circulation immediately and were subjected to the wear and tear of everyday use. This quickly diminished their sharp details, and original mint luster-proof coins from San Francisco, especially those graded PR70 Deep Cameo, are another highlight. Their frosted designs and mirror-like backgrounds are captivating under light, showcasing the artistry of the Washington quarter in its finest form. The historical significance of the 1997 quarter also adds to its appeal. It was part of the final chapter of the Eagle reverse design, just before the country's coinage took a creative turn with the state quarters program, which transformed the look of the quarter forever. This transitional moment in U.S. coin history means that 1997 quarters hold a special place for those who collect with an eye toward preserving important design eras. Collectors often speak of the thrill of the hunt. Finding a rare error or a gem-quality 1997 quarter among common coins is a true adrenaline rush. Though the odds are slim, it does happen, and those lucky enough to find one rarely forget the moment. Error varieties like coins struck on the wrong planchet are especially intriguing. Imagine holding a quarter-sized coin that is actually the weight and composition of a dime or foreign coin. These minting mishaps are like small, metallic miracles. Center strikes are another favorite among collectors. These coins, with designs visibly shifted away from center, immediately stand out and tell their own story of a split-second minting mishap. Even without errors, condition is everything. Coins with razor-sharp details, full luster, and no signs of wear are the ones that make collectors' hearts race and open their wallets wide. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC play a critical role in determining value, assigning grades that can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth thousands. Collectors protect their best coins carefully, sealing them in tamper-proof holders to ensure they remain untouched and untarnished for decades to come. Even a light scratch or fingerprint can reduce a coin's grade and, with it, its value over time. The supply of pristine 1997 quarters will only shrink. This natural reduction in available top-quality examples adds to their scarcity and fuels demand in the collector market. When rare and high-grade 1997 quarters appear at auction, competition can be fierce. Collectors and investors alike recognize the opportunity and are often willing to pay significant sums to secure them. Beyond their monetary worth, these coins carry a deep sense of nostalgia. Many people remember using the Washington Eagle reverse quarters for decades, and owning a perfect specimen feels like owning a part of national history. For investors, the 1997 quarter can be both a tangible asset and a piece of American artistry. Its blend of scarcity, beauty, and historical significance makes it a strong candidate for long-term appreciation. This is why collectors from around the world seek them out, often adding them to specialized Washington quarter sets that span multiple decades of production. The coin reminds us that even in the modern era of mass production, there can still be treasures hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to notice them. Also a testament to the enduring appeal of the Washington quarter design, simple, powerful, and instantly recognizable across generations. Whether you're drawn by its history, its artistry, or its potential value, the 1997 Washington quarter dollar is a coin worth knowing about. For the fortunate few who own the rarest and most flawless examples, the value can climb astonishingly high. In fact, in the right condition and with the right characteristics, a 1997 Washington quarter can be worth as much as $65,000.